With Sportster S, we knew we could put the sport back in Sportster. This motorcycle rides exactly the way that it looks. It's insane.
The design was intended to push the limits.
The acceleration, just an absolutely exhilarating feel.
Revolution Max, unlimited amounts of horsepower and torque right at the twist of a throttle.
It's such an exciting, thrilling motorcycle to ride.
Great to combine it, going back to the roots and then launching a new bike, which has a whole history on its own. Actually, I was looking at the dates. If you think about it, they left for America in 1857. The first Sportster came to market in 1957, exactly 100 years later. And now we're here over 60 years later and are launching the next Sportster. It's quite extraordinary.
With Sportster S, we knew we could put the sport back in Sportster because it's time. We knew we had the engineering prowess to do it with the RevMax powertrain. The birth of this architecture, it's really knocked down a bunch of fences that we had. Kind of untied our hands in terms of what we can do with form factor, what we can do with performance. You put the right people in the room and you get the right feedback from the customers. You get the right kind of technology and the right kind of thinking, the right kind of mindset, keep the soul in all the decisions, and you get motorcycles like this that push all the boundaries and deliver that Harley-Davidson experience.
I think when people take a look for the first time at Sportster S, while it's going to look very different, it's also going to look very familiar.
We wanted to stitch in some iconic elements of the design from different generations of Sportster. The tail section, XR750, the fat 16-inch front wheel, that's 48. If you look at what our customers do with Sportster, customization, you can have the same experience you've had with past Harley-Davidsons in terms of making it your own. You can fully kit out the new RevMax family with all kinds of great parts and accessories.
For this bike to really find its way into the modern era, we really gave ourselves a ton of freedom with regards to technology. The ride modes are amazing. It totally changes the personality of the bike.
We have this really beautiful 4-inch round TFT display. It's Bluetooth enabled and allows for us to have turn-by-turn navigation and no longer having to worry about the traditional Sportster method of taping your directions to your tank and trying your best to remember how to get there. But it also has all the upgraded riding safety enhancements. Having cornering enhancement, ABS, allow for a better riding experience.
It's just like Sportster should be, and it's completely unlike any other Sportster you've ever ridden. This motorcycle rides exactly the way that it looks. It's such an exciting, thrilling motorcycle to ride. If the 57 Sportster was a giant killer, then this is an apex predator. I mean, this thing is the ultimate evolution of Sportster. This will surprise a lot of people out on the street at just how competitive this motorcycle is in some of these performance metrics.
It's just pissed off and ready to wreak havoc. Just an absolutely exhilarating feel.
We tuned the delivered performance to be more torque-based. So stoplight to stoplight, you're gonna be able to crank it and beat your buddy to the next one.
There's just so much to unpack in terms of what the bike delivers from a performance standpoint. 121 horsepower,
94 foot-pounds of torque, 12-to-1 compression ratio, and a peak RPM of 9,500.
500 pounds, which feels just incredibly light and maneuverable on the road.
Every ounce of power is just a whole lot of fun.
The future for the Sportster family, it looks incredibly bright based on this motorcycle. And we've got some really cool things up our sleeves, we always do. There will be future models that will definitely tap into some of the more classic form factor of Sportster.
We're really not adding the next chapter to that story, but we're adding the first chapter to the next book.